My dad tells me when he was 24, he worked up the courage to ask out the most beautiful girl at the local YMCA. He asked her out twice and she shut him down both times. What he didn't realize when he asked her the second time is a voice went off in her head saying, you know what, this guy's persistent. If he asks me out one more time, I'm gonna give him a shot. And thank God my dad asked her out one more time. Otherwise, a 43-year marriage with my mom would have never happened. Oh. That marriage was the product of my father's persistence. Now, they got married and they tried to have kids right away. They tried for months, and months turned to years, eventually 10 years of trying, and they couldn't have children. They even experienced tragedy in the process. But thank God, my parents didn't let heartbreak and failure stop them one try short. Otherwise, a baby shower, 350 people celebrating the miracle baby would have never happened. My entire life is the product of my parents' persistence. Now, I was born with that persistence wired into my DNA. This drive just carried me from Naples, Florida, where I grew up, to Washington, D.C. and Georgetown University. It eventually carried me to stumble into a career with sales, where I could turn my persistence into profit. I remember as an entry-level SDR, I was reaching out to a database administrator when I was selling at Oracle at a healthcare company. I reached out month over month just to get radio silence in response. 9 months later in Q4, suddenly radio silence turned into the rocket fuel that catalyzed my career when a $200K deal found its way into my inbox. I closed that deal, and thank God I didn't let discouragement and radio silence stop me one try short. Otherwise, that deal that started a flywheel in my career and led me to get promoted at Oracle, go to Google Cloud, and join a late-stage startup as a second founding seller, none of that would have happened. My entire career was the product of that persistence. Here's a message that I bet my life on that I need you guys to hear. Your ability to keep going, even in the face of rejection, heartbreak, and failure, even in the face of radio silence, that ability to keep going is a superpower that's going to change your future. Now, my persistence took me to heights in my sales career, and I remember when I left Google and took the leap to a startup, I was on top of the world. I had a YouTube channel growing on the side. I had the clearest plan for my life that I'd ever had. But as Mike Tyson once said, everyone's got a plan until you get punched in the face. And that's exactly what happened to me on Bourbon Street at my best friend's bachelor party. And I'll never remember it. I think it's funny. What I do remember is waking up in an ambulance saying, what's going on? I shouldn't be here. What's happening? That next day, I got out of the hospital and my friends told me what happened. Apparently, I picked a fight with the wrong guy. A college running back, probably LSU or Tulane. He was strong. He knocked me out with one blow. I almost died. And my busted face was physically painful. But what was more painful psychologically was when I found out I was the guy who incited the fight. I was in the wrong. But what was even more psychologically painful than that was when I flew home to my mom's 70th birthday that same day.
Oh.
I saw the look of terror and shame on her face. She said, you can't come to church like this. How can you do this to me? How can you do this to me? You ruined my birthday. But what was even more psychologically painful than that was when I went back to Austin. My best friend Vince, I was at his bachelor party, he said, Chris, we need to go for a walk and talk. Now, Vince and I were so close, we had a celebrity couple name. Chris plus Vince equals Prince. We were Prince Charming together. I was the reason he asked out the girl that he was marrying. I wrote a best man speech. I cried tears of joy picturing myself delivering. We go on a walk. He looks me in the eye and says, Chris, you're a liability. I can't have you at my wedding. That was the last day we ever spoke, and that friendship died that day. So did my desire to drink. And although that was my rock bottom, I wouldn't trade it for the world. Pain is a powerful motivator and a transformative force, especially when we choose our response. How did I respond? I gave up drinking. Not just for a season, but at the identity level. I don't drink anymore. And in giving up drinking, it created the space to go to the gym and transform my physical body. And not long after, the transformation of my mind and my relationships followed. The next big thing that I gave up was my six-figure W-2 in tech sales. After 10 years of clinging to that comfort, I gave it up so I could go all in on my mission to help 100,000 people create personal transformation and a life they love through success in tech sales and the pursuit of self-development. My YouTube channel and podcast is approaching 7,000 subscribers and 1.3 million views, and I'm just getting started. And the most recent thing I gave up was the life I built over the last 6 years in Austin, Texas, the land where millennials are married, so I could move back home to Naples, Florida, and be with my family. When I looked at the math, I saw I'd see my parents 50 more times, and I wanted to move here to multiply that to hundreds. Here's another message I bet my life on. It's our willingness to give up old ways of thinking, habits, environments, and relationships that are comfortable, but that sabotage our success and distract us from our true north. It's our ability to give those things up that cause quantum leaps in performance and purpose. A quote I heard once that I love that rings truer and truer the older I get is, life is like a tapestry. On the back, it's chaotic and full of knots. But without those knots, you don't get the beautiful image on the front. And it's such a privilege to share the biggest knot on the back of the tapestry of my life with you today. And I share it in the hopes that you're willing to share your own knots, because I believe as humans, it's our knots that, when shared, that tie us closer together. Mike Tyson was right. I had a plan until I got punched in the face. But now I don't just have a plan. I have integrity, I have commitment, and focus to back it up. When I was in college, a friend said, you should be a motivational speaker. And I know that dream is going to be the product of persistence. And I'm here with you in Toastmasters to work alongside you to convert that dream into reality. Thank you.
Tech sales is an amazing career path where you can make as much as doctors and lawyers without having to cut anyone open or work ungodly hours. Looking back 10 years later, having personally started out in tech sales at Oracle, then moved to Google Cloud and a startup, and now fully launching into entrepreneurship, I can say with confidence that tech sales transformed my life through the income that it produced, the skill development, the connections, and the self-development that I unlocked along the journey. If you're someone who wants to strategically build your own six-figure tech sales career without wasting valuable time and earnings potential, then consider Tech Sales Accelerator and our 12-week programs as your blueprint. Our partners are breaking in and crushing quota at top companies like Oracle, Google Cloud, VMware, and Salesforce, leveraging our in-depth video content, one-on-one coaching, community, and network access. And we'd love to partner with you too to accelerate your own success on this path. If you'd like to learn more about Tech Sales Accelerator and our programs, then feel welcome to book time at my Calendly link, linked in the description of this video, and we'll walk you through all the details. Or just download my free cold calling system that's going to help you crush the phones quickly, also linked in the description of this video.